Zone Board. If that's correct, yes, 9:05. May I roll call?
Mayor Green.
Here.
Mayor Grimsley.
Yes.
Mayor Kent.
Yes.
Mayor Shore. Mr. McLaren.
Here.
Mr. Cruz. Mr. Goslin.
Here.
Mr. Olszewski.
We have a quorum. Should have a copy of the minutes of the Tuesday, November 20th, 2007 meeting. Is there a motion to approve if there are no additions or corrections?
Second.
Motion by Mayor Green, seconded by Mayor Grimsley. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Anyone here from the public wish to comment? Hearing none, we'll move to the enterprise zone expansion of the Hidden Cove area.
Given that we're going through the process, I thought we would just kind of do a status report on where things are. Last week, the Village of Bradley and the Village of Ramon Park both took action to approve the expansions. And Mayor, would you like to give us a
Last
update?
night, the City Council approved the expansion and the amendment to the intergovernmental agreement.
Very good. We are anticipating going to the Village of Bourbonnais on June 2nd. The county board meeting is June 10th, I believe. So, and it passed the PZA something like 7-2 or something like that for the committee. So the committee heard it last week, and now it's ready to go on. So we should be able to. Norm, you got a question?
No, 7-2. And 2 people are against it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why? I think the reasons was they felt like it's been a kind of the same situation in some other cases. A couple of them feel that enterprise zones should be strictly for blighted areas. This is not the first time, really.
Karen Hertzberger and Leo, but
Leo, the only reason Leo was against it was because it was something about the senior.
you liked it.
But I think he was talking about the price range of the senior homes. I believe that was
Okay.
So anyway, it goes to the county board on June 10th.
we anticipate.
And then we will have the application going a few days after that for accumulating the information. We do need a few. I think the Bradley Bourbonnais Chamber, a couple chambers. We need a couple of letters of support that will go along with the application as part of the requirement.
Before we move on, let me make a couple comments on the enterprise zone. One, I think it is imperative that, for the record, that it is a sales tax only. I think that's been said repeatedly. Number 2 is that it is an economic incentive that has been provided by the state of Illinois, and they have the major portion, the 5% of the 6 1/4, that they are, I guess, contributing towards economic growth within Kankakee County. 3 is that both the Sportsplex and the Senior Citizens Complex, or condos, will provide jobs for area workers. And so it is an economic development activity which will, I believe, contribute to not only economic development but also to the economy. And I think that's the purpose. Furthermore, is that with any other enterprise zone, the property tax that will be generated by the structures will more than pay for the 1 1/4%, which is an investment made by the municipality and the county in such an enterprise zone. And so why one would oppose it, I'm not certain, other than to say perhaps it is on a philosophical rather than a practical basis.
And just a further comment on that, I know at our PZA meeting, the information that was provided to the committee by Mr. Bennett was wonderful. It was a wonderful tool. It was nice to see those figures down in black and white. It was nice to be able to work off that and look at that.
Okay. Future projects?
We have no applications at the present time for any future projects in the enterprise zone in terms of expansion, I guess is what I'm referring to. more or less. We have had some conversation, and I guess one of the things that I want to mention, because I think, I mean, I could be corrected here, but this is the first time under my administration, well, no it isn't. We did the Route 50 expansion. Would it be the pleasure of this board that before anything, if an application comes in, that this board review it prior to going out to the municipalities? And I'm just looking for maybe some policy direction. In this case and in the previous case, I just went to the municipalities and started the process to get it moving along. Okay. Would you prefer that this board review any application before we send it out to the municipalities, or does it really have, does it have any bearing on what you guys, you know, because you really don't vote on it here at this board level. But I guess the question I'm asking is, would you prefer to see applications prior to them going to the municipalities?
For information, basically only.
Yeah. Getting questions answered by the developers so that when you go to your board, you have maybe a little more information. What that does, though, potentially is it could push back approval processes as we go along. But that's the balance.
Well, why would that push it back? I don't understand.
Well, if we meet once a month, if we meet once a month and we meet on this day when Karma meets because you guys are here, that could set up, you know, the process and could push it back 30, 45 days.
Okay.
If other board.
But I guess I don't understand. Originally you said, hey, give me the information, it's for my information. Okay, so that if somebody comes up to me and says, hey, I understand that we're going to do something over here and they're asking for enterprise zone, I'm not flat-footed, and I go, oh yeah, I heard about that, yeah. But I didn't vote on it. I'm not going to vote on it. It makes no difference one way or the other. It's just information. So it shouldn't, if you just put that information out.
Yeah, I agree with Norm. I think if you send us an email and say you're working on a project, I can tell you philosophically, our board, it was Bradley's request, and if they want to do it, that's fine. That's their business. They're the ones giving up the 1%, basically. And the same for us, the same for Bourbonnais, the same for Rowan Clark, the same for the county. I mean, we want to encourage it.
Well, I got so far ahead in this one that I thought, okay, maybe I didn't know if I wanted to pull it. This will give me an opportunity to just get some feedback
The mayor
on
already
that
told us about the
process.
project.
Okay.
I mean, we all knew it, so it's not I don't think it's a difficult issue. And I agree with your comment. I thought Bennett did a good job. He came in and sat down and said, this is what I'm going to do on a project in Bradley. And I said, that's fine. Just get us the information and we'll take action on it.
Well, and I would agree. You know, I believe that it is in the best interest of the county in order to move forward with these requests to the extent to which there is area that is left. If we get to the point where there is a concern as to the amount of acreage that is left, we may wish to meet and address that prior to any further expansion request. And I think we in essence have addressed that to some extent. I'm sure I speak for all the other mayors, is that when people are looking for that incentive which would bring about projects to the area, my preference would be is to provide them with the process that says, you know, it is our intent to move forward with this application. Any time in the process, if there is some question, any municipality, including you know, the county, can, you know, put a stop to the process. And so I'm not one to want to meet when there is no real purpose in meeting. And I think that in essence is in the application process and in the beginning stages. I think that we work closely enough together that we inform others of the intent. And I think that's all that's necessary, because the process has in place that mechanism by which it can be stopped anywhere along the line.
I just wanted to make sure that, you know, the process that we follow is okay with you, and that will continue that way. Get an application, we'll ensure that it's completed to the fullest extent possible at the time, and we'll start getting dates on those board committees and board meetings, and then at some point in time we would have possibly a formal presentation to this board, in order that you kind of have an idea and a grasp of where things are.
And, you know, without it being a policy, perhaps the best mechanism to ensure its continuance would be that the municipality who is, you know, looking for the expansion is the first to act upon it. And if you can't get it in your own municipality,
That's
then,
true.
then I trust there's no point in going any further, and there's no need to meet in order to make that determination, because the vote is the vote.
I think the mayor made a good point. I think that also the one thing we probably should know now, that once this passes the county and once this passes the village of Urban A, is what's left in the enterprise zone. So I think that's a very
I think we've got about 11 and a half square miles used up right now, and I think we're either 15 or 16.
We, existing currently is 11.31. We're going to add 0.05, which will bring the new total after this expansion to 11.36.
And I think that's
What's the
important.
maximum we have?
Because there's so many municipalities involved, it goes up to 15.
So I think that's an important number for all of us to remember. And I think the mayor's right, because he mentioned to us he was going to do this project, so we know if we have an objection, we're going to say it right then and there. I mean, at that point.
Sure.
I mean, there's enough communication between all the units of government, good communication, that it's important. And I don't think we want to hinder what you want to do. I mean, you're the enterprise zone director. We want you to do that. We encourage economic development in the community.
Expedited, okay.
Well, and we want you to be able to say to
Yes.
whomever is requesting information about the enterprise zone is, yes, fill out the application, get it to me,
Right.
then we'll proceed with the process.
And I think it behooves each one of us, and we answer it lots of times within our own community, because what people come to us and say, I'm going to do this, do I have an enterprise zone benefit? And I'll say no. And can I get one? And I'll say no, because that isn't what, that isn't the philosophy of the municipality. We're not going to create one in that particular area.
Anything further on future projects?
Not at this time.
The checking account report, certainly important.
Shall?
In November, the checking account had a balance of $12,668. As of April's bank statement, here's the statement from November through April. The balance in April was $13,290. We had, from November to May, 1,600 in deposits. And we've had some payouts of an administrative conference that Mr. Van Vel went to for $125. And for the expansion, there was the court reporter fee of $140 and the public notice of $53.
I move we accept the report.
A motion by Mayor Green, seconded by Vice Chairman McLaren. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign, motion carries.
Can I ask a question, Mr. Chairman? Is it possible, since we're getting all this electronically, that you send that to us on, I don't know, whatever basis it is, and then we've got it in our file and we know? Because sometimes we don't meet that often.
You send it on a monthly basis.
Just whatever.
Put it on a PDF and send it.
Yeah.
Anything further under the checking account? Any new business? Old business? Entertain motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Good.
That's the way.
Motion by Mayor Green, seconded by Vice Chairman McLaren at 9:20.
I'm always there.